If you've been trying to save your marriage and it hasn't worked so far, do this instead to get your wife back. Have you ever poured your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul into saving your marriage only to see that your wife is drifting further and further away? What if working harder is actually what's pushing her out the door? You just got to be coachable.
In this video, we're going to show you why trying to save your marriage the traditional way doesn't work and what you can do instead to bring your wife back. Stay with us to the end because we have a resource for you that's free that could change everything for you.
But before we dive in, please hit that subscribe button right now. It really does help our channel significantly. Our numbers went down over the summer as we were only posting client success stories so you could see the value in the program that we offer for those of you that need it. But once you hit the subscribe button, do me a favor for yourself. Hit the notification button so you don't miss out on some of the newest videos that we're about to start putting out. We've been doing videos once a week. We're going to start putting out 3 videos every week so you never miss out on any of the newest videos that we're putting out 3 times a week. As we drop new content on rebuilding broken marriages and reattracting your wife back, even when she has no interest in saving the marriage, I don't want you to miss one single video. So who are we and what do we do?
So if you're new here, we're Denver and Brandy Griffin. We run DivorceStoppers and the Marriage U-Turn program. We help men facing unwanted divorce or separation rebuild intimacy, reattract their wives back, and restore their marriages.
Over the past decade, we've helped hundreds of men remarry their ex-wives and thousands of men save their marriage. Our message is built on real-world experience. We personally have walked through this ourselves, but we've also walked through the rebuilding process with thousands of men in the past 10 years. And that's why you'll find on this YouTube channel, our experience is based on the psychology of relationships, which I've done several videos on that particular topic. But right now, let's dig into why saving the marriage isn't the solution. Point number 1, why working harder doesn't work. Most men think that they can fix things by begging, pleading, buying gifts, forcing her to do a counseling session with you. So what's the problem? Those actions are aligning your actions with your feelings. Those actions confirm her belief that the relationship is broken. When you try to convince her, you're aligning your actions with desperation, not your goal.
A wife that feels pressured will often seek emotional support elsewhere.
When she does that, we often call that the enemy of the marriage, which there can be many enemies of the marriage, but there's always one main source.
She might confide in friends who encourage her to leave, or worse, start an emotional affair.
And sometimes the emotional affair is with a friend, with a woman. Not a sexual, but it's an emotional affair.
No, it's just like your best friend, and maybe she's divorced or something.
Could be your mother-in-law,
your mom,
and it
your
could be
sister.
It could be a male partner, though. It could be a sexual affair partner, a limerent affair
Absolutely.
partner.
Yes.
If you know any of that's going on, or that you have an enemy of the marriage, put that in the comments and kind of share a little bit about it, and we'll do a video on how do you actually navigate the waters if that's where you're at.
Yeah, it's a total thing.
But jumping back on topic, so the harder that you push, the more she's always going to withdraw. Have you tried this, and has this already happened to you? If so, stick that in the comments. Has this happened to you? Have you pushed and you see that it's caused her to retreat, to withdraw, maybe to latch on to the enemy of the marriage, the emotional affair partner, maybe just another hoochie that she's latched onto because right now she's acting happy, but in fact, she's actually miserable. Misery loves misery, so she will find another miserable hoochie almost always that has ruined her relationship, that's in her divorce. Sometimes that could even be her mom. Sometimes a nasty, disgruntled mother-in-law that divorced her husband.
Misery loves company.
But if that's you and you see that there is an enemy of the marriage, comment below if you've already done that, you've experienced that, and we'll give you some more videos on how to deal with that. Comment below if you've went through counseling or an intense effort and it backfired. We'd love to hear your experience on that to give us some video ideas. So what do you actually want to do? Point number 2, align your actions with your goals, not your feelings. I like to call this communicating in the masculine, doing what you think is going to work because you feel like that.
Yeah.
Look where that's got you. That's why you're on this YouTube channel watching these videos. So you've got to stop aligning those actions with your feelings like a little girl, start acting like a masculine man in your leadership, and aligning your actions with the actual goal. Now, for a lot of you, you don't know how to do that. That's why we're doing this video. Pay attention, take notes.
So to turn things around, you have to stop reacting to your emotions, fear, sadness, and anger, and start acting accordingly to the goal, restoring the relationship.
I love that you brought up on how men in this situation will always react to those emotions. Fear. I like to call fear false evidence appearing real. That's what that acronym stands for. Because when you start aligning your actions with your goals, you're going to be afraid to do that initially, which a lot of times, depending on how far your relationship has went south, you may not ever be able to do this without finding somebody that has been in your shoes, that knows how to actually navigate the boat to go where you want to go, especially if this has ran its course long enough that she has confirmation bias.
100%.
Even in the DivorceStoppers program, for men that are literally either they've already got a legal divorce or they are facing that, and so many men are naive to see where they're actually at. You know, they've let it run its course so long, you're headed to divorce fast and furious, but you're so naive that you think it's just going to magically fix itself. And this is why marriages end that are not supposed to end, because you're delaying getting fucking help when you need to do that. Some of you, these YouTube videos are enough. If your wife has confirmation bias, it will never be enough to restore the marriage. Even if you guys get back together, guess what? That will be short-lived. It will be temporary.
You won't know what to do.
You will get separated again, and that time she's done. Now, if that's where you're already at, guess what? There's even hope in that case, but you're never going to figure out how to do it on your own. Guess how I know? Because I didn't figure out how to do it on my own. So fear is one. False evidence appearing real. Why do I say it's false evidence appearing real? Because when you start doing what's actually working, initially it is going to look like that it's backfiring. It's a series of pushes and pulls to doing the right thing.
It's part of the process.
The other thing that she brought up was sadness. If your fat ass is laid up on the couch feeling sorry for yourself, you got to fix that, because that's aligning your actions with your feelings. Who in the hell told you, or what's making you think that your wife wants to come back to Eeyore from Winnie Pooh? Nobody fucking wants to be with somebody that's sad.
It's not attractive.
Why? Because it makes her feel responsible for your happiness when you're over here saying, but in the comments, if you tried to check out because you thought that would work. And guess what? For a minute, it probably gave you some wins because she felt sorry for you. But guess what? That's just selfish bullshit. You've got to stop aligning your actions with your feelings. Well, Denver, everything was good, and I blew up because I got pissed off, because I can't control my emotions, because I am so angry what she's doing to me, what she's doing to the finances, what she's doing to our kids.
Well,
women will fuck their kids up when they're going through this.
Men do too.
But women do it far greater than
they're
men.
More emotional.
Yeah. And here's the thing. They will protect what they're doing to their own children, because they can their brain has found a way to justify it in their mind. And honestly, their brain will come in protect where they literally don't have the ability to truly see what they're doing to their children. This is what the Bible means in the scripture, where it says a foolish woman will tear her very own house down with her own hands. Well, Jennifer, if that's really where she is, should I even try to get her back? Yes. Because it's most likely a really good woman doing a really bad thing. Yeah. And right now she can't see it, so she's walking in foolishness. Now, let me tell you something else to kind of put your ass in the ditch. So I'm getting onto the men just like I am the women in this case, okay? So what causes a woman to fall into foolishness? Pride goeth before a fall. Has your smug ass been so prideful, you didn't show up in the relationship, in the marriage that you should have been, and your lack of masculine, godly, correct leadership, you walked in pride instead of what you should have walked in, and it caused her to fall into foolishness because she's had enough of it and she thinks in her mind she's done.
And then that triggers her.
100% it triggers her.
So then she reacts to that. Yeah.
So what we want to do instead is start acting in accordance with your masculine goals as a leader to restore your relationship and to restore your marriage. So what does this mean? This means letting go of the need to save your marriage and instead do something radically different. Work on becoming the kind of man that she wants to return to. We call this aligning your actions with your goals. I actually have a video specifically on that. I'll have my video editor put that in the comments. It isn't about ignoring your feelings, but refusing to let them dictate your behavior. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you've watched a lot of my content, you've heard me say, this woman, your woman, the woman that walked out on your ass or that's sleeping in the other bedroom, and your only relationship you have right now is with your right or your left hand. If you want to change that and have a relationship with somebody that wants the relationship, because guess what? You know, I just said you've got to change yourself. If you've already done that, and maybe you're in another program, and that program is making you feel good about yourself, your biceps are getting bigger, you're in the gym, your dick has grown 3 inches in this program because it's made you feel so fucking amazing. Guess what? All of that is good stuff, and it is requirement to restore the marriage. But guess what? It's not. It's not enough. Because what's going to happen as you start walking into your calling and getting your shit together, you're leaving the woman that you fucked over behind. So put in the comments right now if you're in another program or you're watching videos and you've done all this and you see that it's literally backfiring. It's causing her to resent your changes. What you're dealing with, almost 100% certainty, is confirmation bias.
Right.
Even my YouTube videos are not going to be enough to restore a relationship if you have let this shit go long enough that she has developed confirmation bias, which is we have a free marriage U-turn masterclass, and we'll give you the website for that in a little bit that'll help you take the first step to returning the marriage back to where you want it to go, which is called the marriage U-turn.
And one way to measure your progress, you just need to ask yourself, after every interaction that you have with your wife, did I act in line with fear or in line with my goal of reconciliation?
Yeah, because a man that reacts,
Yes.
you can say acts in fear, but more often than acting, reacts in fear.
It will trigger her to no end, and then that's gone.
And then this is what Brady means when she says, "Stop acting like a pussy. Stop acting like a vagina." We're not really trying to discredit female anatomy,
No.
but we're trying to be really crass so you get the point. When you're reacting in fear, you are always going to react in the feminine,
It's
which
too
makes you
emotional.
look like a damn vagina.
Yeah, it's too emotional.
And a vagina is not attractive to a woman.
And she'll
in-
just
at
keep
least
on running.
not in this capacity anyway, right? What I want you to do right now, take a moment and comment below. What goal do you want to align with? Is it rebuilding trust? What is it? What is the second thing that everybody needs to align with? So many people don't know it, and I literally think that we are one of 2 programs in the entire world.
Yeah.
In the United States, I don't know of another one. In Europe, there's one that's similar to us. They're about 4 times the price because they take on way less clients. But the second thing is, do you want to align with communication, which is, I think, even more important than rebuilding trust, right? Do you want to align with rebuilding trust, communication, which is literally the first step in our program, or emotional connection? Put in the comment right now where you feel like you might be missing the mark. This will give us some video ideas. And guess what? We respond to every single comment. So what is point number 3 here to keep advancing to some bullets of some things that you can start doing today, even before you do our free marriage U-turn masterclass? You want to become her pressure relief valve. Do you remember earlier
Yes.
we were talking about the enemies of the marriage, the hoochie new friend or the hoochie old friend from high school that's a hooker that she's rekindled a relationship with. And now,
Or her parents or her kids, whatever that looks like in your situation.
yeah, it could be the mother-in-law, could be a nasty best friend, could be a limmer affair partner.
Yes.
It could be a million different things.
Her high school sweetheart that's trying to rekindle with her, like whatever.
But it's almost always a lower value person
Yep.
that is miserable and just constantly walks in a fence.
Yes.
And she's recruiting your wife to do the same thing.
Yeah, and you know, many like women, they leave because they feel like they have to keep their husbands happy. That pressure is unbearable. So when she sees you miserable because she's unhappy, she feels responsible for your happiness and your emotions, and that's where that goes.
Can I paraphrase what you said?
Like,
Get your fat ass off the fucking couch.
impress her.
If you're laying down feeling sorry for
Yeah.
yourself, get up, go kayaking, go to the gym. One of the reasons that a lot of you are watching this video right now is because you haven't had a male friend in 20 years. You don't. The only man friends that you have
It's not attractive.
is
Yeah.
your coworkers, your employees, your employer. Get off your ass and go pursue an intimate relationship with another man. The Bible actually says, forsake not the fellowship with
Of
your
your
other
brothers
brothers
and
and sisters.
sisters.
And you know what I
Yes.
really think that means in context? I think it means for a man, you are never going to have the life that you're supposed to have, including the wife that you're supposed to have, if you don't go hang out with other male friends.
Yeah.
For a woman, I think it means the same thing.
It's seclusion. It's not healthy.
When I hang out with my guy friends, it
I
automatically...
like you better when you do that.
You do, and it's
Yes.
not just exclusive to us.
No.
And why is it? Because the stuff that I would be tempted to talk to you about, it's not appropriate conversation between a man and a woman.
I don't need all that on me.
You don't.
If it's not like important between us.
The Bible says that the wife in a marriage is the weaker vessel.
Yeah.
You know what?
And I'm strong.
You could be a janitor at the local high school, and your wife is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company,
Yeah.
and she is the fucking alpha in her career. But in the
You need to
relationship,
protect her.
she doesn't want the pressure or the responsibility. So one of the things that you could do too, which is another action step, is get a male friend. And for some of you, I can tell you when I first started doing this many years ago, it did not bother me to walk in a boardroom with a whole boardroom full of millionaires that thought they were smarter than me. And guess what? I showed them, none of you are smarter than me, right quick. But here's the point that I'm making. Sometimes your intelligence is what's hindering your relationship. And so here's what I mean by this. For a lot of you, because I attract a lot of entrepreneurs that cut through the bullshit, because I am not about bullshit. They don't do anything but hold anybody back in their life. The goal of these videos and the goal of our program is to cut through the fucking bullshit and find the fastest path to restoration. Why? Because most of the people that find us, they are that far from divorce. They've already got legally divorced, and they have so much shit on the line if they don't put some speed on it. I'm not okay with taking 2 years for you to get back together. If that's what you're looking for, there's a lot of other people on YouTube that you should be following. And quite frankly, go to their programs. Don't come into ours because you're probably not going to enjoy coaching sessions with me. I don't run it that way. But going back to masculine friendships, one of the most uncomfortable changes that I ever made in my life that radically changed my life, because up until that point, my whole life, the only male friends that I had was either a couple friend, where it wasn't really my male friend, it was a couple friend, or it was my employees or my contractors or somebody that ranked higher above me in the industry that I was in. I never actually had, outside of work, male friendships where I just went and hung out with.
You were just busy.
Now, something else. I'm a Virgo, and so if you don't bring value to the table in conversation, I am not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point. If that's you, find somebody of high value. The social media world that we live in today, you can join Toastmasters in your community to find other people that think like you. For some of you, you have some male friends, and you need to cut those relationships. Well, what do I mean? You ever heard the phrase, you are the sum of the 4 or 5 people that's in your circle that you hang out with all the time? Right?
Yeah.
Some of you need to cut some of those people out.
Yeah.
But for 99% of you, I know for a fact, the numbers on this, you don't even have a guy friend that you go do shit with, and that's screaming that to your wife, come back, come back, come back. You're responsible for my happiness, and I literally put that pressure on nobody else.
Yeah.
I have no other intimate connections but you, and if I don't have you, I want to die. Dude, that is going to make sure she does it.
It's the killer for the
You
whole
go
thing.
make a guy friend and go fishing. Denver, I don't like going fishing. They go fucking try fishing. You might actually enjoy it. Go get on a kayak. Go do indoor skydiving.
It's good to try new things.
Get on a
for
damn airplane and go
everybody,
somewhere.
For our kids, our spouses, it's good to try new things, and it's healthy.
Guess what else you should do? As you go start enjoying a masculine friendship, document that on social media, because it's not just enough if you do this. You need to show her the new reality of you, because what it does is it takes off the pressure for her to make you happy, because your job is literally to relieve that pressure. So what's another way that you can stop relieving the pressure? Stop doing the 3 C's that I constantly talk about in my videos, especially the older videos. What is the 3 C's? And by the way, it's not just enough to stop doing the 3 C's. We want to replace the 3 C's, because if you're in a habit of doing one thing, how do you break a bad habit? You replace it with a good one. So the bad habit is the 3 C's. All of you are doing this. Most likely, if you haven't already been watching my YouTube videos enough to know that you've got to stop this. Condemning, complaining, and criticizing, even if you have a reason to do all 3. Don't you know you're destroying our children? They all need counseling. They have PTSD because of this. Bringing that to her attention is the opposite of what works because it's aligning your actions with your feelings. You want to pivot and you want to align your actions with your goals. Pivot to being the 3 P's: positive, polite, and ultimately playful. Some of you are not in the place right now where it makes sense to be playful.
Yeah.
But if you'll start practicing positive and polite, it will lead to playful.
Yes.
When she vents, by the way, I have a lot of videos on how to do positive, polite, and playful. Because what you always want to do when she vents, the way that you don't do the 3 C's and you practice the 3 C's, is you listen without fixing, you listen without judging, and you listen without defending yourself.
And that makes you the safe place for her. If she thinks that you're emotionally safe, she may start sharing with you again. If you've been critical in the past, owning that and shifting your demeanor can make a huge difference for her, for sure.
I want to paraphrase that. Be the 20-pound bottle of Valium.
Yeah,
That no matter
calm her.
if she has a bitch fit, you don't respond with the bitch fit.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how changing your tone can transform her response? Drop a comment with the one thing that you're going to stop doing right away to turn this around. Are you going to stop complaining? What are the things that you've been struggling with? Is it complaining? Is it condemning her or her actions or what she's doing to you or the kids or the business or the finances? Or is it criticizing? Something else that I want you to add in this comment: what is the one thing that you're going to start doing to replace the bad habit with a new habit? Which leads me to point number 4. You have an opportunity to get genuinely happy and to start living your life.
Yeah, you get to do that because you can. And you don't have to, you get to. And restoring your marriage isn't about convincing her to come back. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, and start by cultivating happiness. Tell yourself, I am happy, even if it feels odd.
Yeah, and you make a really good point is you do have to change yourself if you want your circumstances to change.
Yes.
But here's the thing. One of the things that we often teach in the whole goal of our Marriage U-Turn Masterclass that we're doing live 13 times this week at no charge, it's a free resource. But the goal of that is to, yes, we want to change you. That's absolutely a requirement. But the bigger goal here is to lead her to change. Because guess what? When she filed a divorce against me, which I initially said I wanted, but it was out of desperation because I didn't want a divorce. I just wanted the marriage to be back on point. But I said the D word.
You were grasping at straws to
100%.
Yeah.
And if you've said the D word, and some of you, put in the comments if you've said the D word. You brought it up. You don't want a D word, but you were saying divorce first. And for some of you, especially if you've done this, I'm very curious to know how many of you watching this have done this. You filed the divorce because you thought it might prompt her to change. And guess what? Now you're getting exactly what you don't want. But the goal, and one of the reasons that for a lot of you, if she has confirmation bias and you need our free Marriage U-Turn Masterclass that I'm doing many times this week, your marriage will never be restored unless she also changes, which is what we start the process of teaching you in our free Marriage U-Turn Masterclass.
Exactly, but it's because of your leadership, not because you just changed yourself, because that's not going to fly either.
You've got to make the right changes.
In the right way. It's part of the process.
But you also couple those changes with the correct communication,
Yes.
which is what no one else out there is teaching.
Yes, 100%.
And Brandy brings up, I am happy. Make yourself happy. Tell yourself I'm happy. An exercise that I did when I was making this change myself, I literally would go into the bathroom mirror, and all throughout the day, the rearview mirror of my car, whatever, I would literally look at myself and I would say these words 3 times, and I would say, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. And guess what? When you tell your subconscious you're happy and you hold a smile, sometimes it makes sense just to hold the smile until you feel like smiling. It trains your subconscious to get your ass happy.
Yeah.
We do this exercise with our grandchildren. We have a lot of grandsons. We have 6 grandsons and 1 granddaughter, right?
Yep.
As of today.
Yeah.
And so, of course, boys, they're going to want to fight, and then they get unhappy, right? And then one of the things that we break up those fights is I'll look them in the eye. I'm like, say it. And they know.
They start laughing, and then they get a smile on their face.
They'll start out like, I am happy, I am happy, and then
It
guess
works.
what? It literally makes them happy because they're telling their subconscious, I control you. My spirit man inside me that thinks has the ability to take dominion over this bag of flesh that's fucked up my life. So what are some things that you can do to make you feel alive? Go bowling, join a gym, learn a musical instrument, start reading a book, document your journey on social media, not to brag, but to show her that you're living a life that is a fulfilled life and that you're happy. This removes the pressure from her and makes you much more attractive, not only to her, but to everybody that knows you.
Yeah, of course. And then remember that happiness is contagious. And if she sees you genuinely enjoying your life, she's going to wonder what's the change and what's up with you.
So we're curious, what hobby are you going to start? And I use that word pun intended. The reason I'm saying I'm curious, curiosity is level 1 of attraction. If you want her to stop thinking about what a horrible person you are and why she needs out of the marriage, you got to make her curious, which is level 1 of attraction.
Curiosity is the first level of attraction. If she's convinced you're the same guy, she won't reconsider the reconciliation.
100%.
So change your story in ways that she finds intriguing.
1,000,000%. Yeah. You ever heard curiosity kills the cat?
Yep.
So that's worth its weight in gold. Something else that you can do is work on spice. What are the different areas of spice? Where did we come up with this acronym? One day I was doing a prayer walk as I was putting together this version of this YouTube channel. And I literally said, God, what's a new idea that I can implement? And God literally said, how do you smell to me? How do you smell to me? If I were to take a sniff of you, what's the aroma that you're giving off? And I'm like, okay, so I started working on some ideas. What is the areas that a man and a woman, for that matter, can change? How do they smell to your creator? Guess what? If you don't believe in creator, you're really, really missing out, but this will still work to you. Increase in the different areas where you have control to make yourself more attractive to your spouse and those people that you have connections with. What are those areas of smelling better? We call it spice: spiritual, physical, intellectual, character, and emotional attractiveness. Maybe you've always worn glasses. Try contact lenses. If you've never exercised, start doing that. If you've never read the Bible for yourself, begin exploring your faith. These genuine changes can create curiosity and they will make you feel good because they'll grow who you are as a person.
Yeah, for sure. And one extreme example, when we were separated, Denver got a tattoo that aligned with his beliefs. For him, tattoos were always taboo.
Yeah.
And so it shocked me and made me curious.
I think it turned her on a little bit.
Well, it was shocking, and I was like, oh, what's happening? And then what could you do to spark curiosity while staying true to yourself?
Yeah, don't go get a tattoo if you know you're just going to hate it.
Yeah.
But
We're not telling you to go like
I
that
started
far
reading
if you don't want to.
I used to think people with tattoos were going to go to hell. And I started reading scripture around that. And my interpretation was like, only if I'm a Levite priest. I'm not a Levite priest, so
No, and we both have a tattoo. So.
we really like tattoos, and they actually have meaning, so it aligned with my values. So share in the comments right now what spice area you're going to focus on first. Your idea could actually help the other men that are commenting on this channel think outside of the box, which leads me to my next idea for you that's going to be radically different for most of you watching this. The next thing you do, which is point number 6 here, is you need to raise the white flag.
So when she's angry, accusing you of not listening to her or treating her like a child, your instinct is to defend yourself. But that's just, it invalidates her feelings and confirms that you're negative, and that's a bad story to live by.
100%. That's why we say raise the white flag. What does raise the white flag mean?
You're not throwing up the white flag going, I give, but it's becoming agreement, and more agreement with her makes her feel heard, valued, and seen.
When you disagree with somebody's negative feelings and you try to defend yourself, it's aligning your actions with your feelings, and it's the opposite of aligning your actions with your goals.
Yes.
What you need to do instead is surrender her emotions and reflect them back. Say, I see why you felt unheard, or I get why that hurt you. And then that's not even enough, actually. You need to explain why you think that, because that puts a good name on her negative feeling.
It validates her feelings, which
it makes her feel heard, valued, and seen. But something else that it does is it shows humility and it shows empathy. Let her know that you're not here to argue, you're here to understand. For a lot of you, you've been missing that mark.
Yeah, and raising the white flag is not about conceding defeat. It's just about stepping onto her side of the battlefield. When you stop fighting her, it stops the need to fight you on her end.
Yeah, it stops her needing to fight you.
Yes.
Like right now, she feel like I have to fight you.
Everybody's on the defense.
But what it also does, I'm gonna paraphrase. Okay. This is the first step in the process of changing her.
It is.
That's what it does. It changes her.
Through your
it changes
leadership,
her heart.
you doing these steps, especially this one, is going to make her come around to you and go, wow, he sees and hears me and is understanding my feelings.
And it's changing your communication. And we go next level with this.
It shifts the whole thing.
In the Free Marriage U-Turn Masterclass, we go a little bit on a new level with that. But right now, do me a favor. Comment below if you've ever tried to defend yourself and saw that go wrong. Also comment below if you've been defending yourself and you see that it's putting you fast and furious to marriage to game over.
Yeah, like putting you like in hell. Literally.
But what I want you to do right now is I want you to start thinking about your communication outside of the box to prepare you for when you're not watching this video, the next time you and your wife or your lover communicates. Right now, what will you say differently the next time that you feel the need to defend yourself when she starts trashing you? Put in the comments right now, what are you going to start saying differently the next time that she does this? Which leads me to my next point. Communicate with empathy.
Yeah, and true intimacy requires being an expert communicator, literally.
And you can become an expert communicator.
You can. When she sends a text about the kids or bills, don't fire off and quickly reply. Read it carefully. Give it about 15 minutes and ask yourself, what does her heart say?
Yeah, so what Brandy is teaching you, how do you actually make her feel heard and valued? This is communication, and you can do this. Ask clarifying questions if needed. Avoid turning the conversation into an argument or a lecture.
Stay calm.
Yes, 1,000,000%. Stay calm and grounded. This builds emotional safety and opens the door to deeper conversations.
Yeah. This might feel unnatural at first, but the more you practice the empathetic communication, the more natural it becomes, and the more she will feel drawn back to you.
Or the more she'll start to change.
Yeah.
If you're ready to practice, leave a comment with a sample reply that you'll send, where you're going to send a simple question like, what time are we dropping the kids off? And we'll provide feedback in the comments. Also, do me a favor right now. If you feel like where you've really been missing the mark is communication, put in the comments some recent examples where you totally fucked it up, where you guys were doing pretty good, you thought things were getting better, but for a lot of you right now, she's only talking to you about the kids or the bills.
It's like business. All
anything to do with the relationship, she's not having it.
No.
And then you've been walking in false evidence appearing real, and you think that we can't use talking about logistical stuff to literally turn this train completely and radically around.
Yes.
You don't need to talk about the relationship. You can talk about the light bill, the kids, the dog, the house, the divorce case, whatever. There are some things, all of that are opportunities to turn the train around that's heading to game over. Put in the comments right now, what are you and your wife or your relationship lover, what are you guys talking about that you think that you can't use that? And then maybe put in there an example of something that you're going to try to start using that. If that is where you're at and you know that you need deeper guidance, you need help with communication, you want to turn the marriage around fast because you believe that she might have confirmation bias, right now what I want you to do is I want you to sign up and register. Pause this video right now, and I want you to register for our free Marriage U-Turn Masterclass that I am teaching nearly 20 times this week live. My video expert's putting the link on the screen right now and the QR code where you can scan that code if you're on a device, or you can click on the link that's on the screen or in the comments. And in this training, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process through the concepts to show you exactly how to apply them. And this is literally free. But I only have so many seats available. We do have limited availability this week. Because the spots are limited, I want you to pause the video because I have something else that I'm going to give to you, another free resource that I don't want you to miss out. But before we get to that, I want you to pause the video right now, go register for the masterclass so the seats don't fill up. And then after you've done that, so I'm going to assume you've already done that, what I want you to do next is watch this next video on how to build intimacy in communication using the 3 PPPs. And if you haven't already done so, I just told a lot of you, I'm asking for your help because I'm also serving, and it's the law of reciprocity, so I want something back from you. And here's a favor I'm asking. Because we took the entire summer and we were only posting client testimonials to share success stories of our paid students inside our DivorceStoppers program, which is a 7-week marriage transformation program. If she has confirmation bias and you need that, YouTube kind of like suppressed this a little bit because I wasn't doing some catchy titles and thumbnails. We were only sharing clients' experiences for the entire summer.
Yeah.
And so I kind of took a break a little bit to spend a little bit more time with my grandkids. And so we on purpose weren't wanting to bring on as many students, but now we're back at it and we're about to start doing 3 videos a week on YouTube starting next week. I want YouTube to serve that up. One of the things that you can help me is make sure you've commented something on this video already that I've asked multiple times to do, but subscribe and make sure and hit the bell notification because that's what's going to notify you to make sure that a future video you find out about it.